Hello everyone, my name is BB Doe and in this video we're knitting. In this video I'm going to kind of give you a tutorial on this pattern. I am doing the My Favorite Things knitwear sweater number 20. I am using this beautiful brown yarn. Here's a clip of me getting that for the first time. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about it. Unlike sewing, which I taught myself how to do last week, I do know how to knit. I've been knitting for a while. If you are making this sweater or interested in making this sweater, this video will show you the first part of the pattern, but if you're doing either of those things and you want kind of visual reference or a tutorial, please subscribe because I will be uploading different parts of the pattern as I finish them. Yeah, so this is what we have so far, but let's get to it. Before we get to the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am using the Drops brand Nepal yarn. It has been working really well for me. I don't like holding two strands of yarn together, so this is me just showing off the yarn. I am on row 36 of the upper back yoke. I'm going to show you guys how to do all these different cables. I'm going to go through row 36 probably to the end, just so you get a sense of, you know, how to do each different type of cable. So row 36 is a right side row. The way that you know is either by following the chart, or on the right side you should have a stockinette for all the cables, and on the wrong side you should have, you know, the purl bubbles on most of it. So right side, wrong side, right side. So we're on the right side. I'm just going to go ahead and knit this as the pattern says. So first of all, we have an empty square, which on the right side means we knit. So knit that off. And then we are going to increase. So you pick up the little ring, the strand that runs between your two needles, and you place it on your left needle. So the trick with this, and now it says to knit, the trick with this is that you always want to knit or purl through the tighter end. So you see how there's a longer strand on the back? If I place it the other way, there's a longer strand on the front. But since we're knitting, we want to knit through the tighter strand, so the shorter strand. So then we just pull that strand up, and if I can, knit through it. Woohoo! We're gonna knit till we get to the purls. As you can see, the next two are part of a purl pattern. So the more of this that you do, the easier it'll be to see what you're supposed to do next. But if you're just starting at the bottom, just trust the pattern. We're at our first time crossing these. So this, hi, it's future editing BB. I was actually supposed to start twisting this cable a few rows back, I think around row 30, and just had missed it. So that is a mistake I made. You are actually supposed to start that cable basically as soon as you create it. These two right here are actually going to turn into a cable into one of these cables. So go between, pick it up, perfect, knit it, but don't take it off. So you see how it's still connected? And then it says to knit through this one. And at that point, we take all of it, including this extra strand, off. So you notice at the beginning we had two, and now we still have two, but we've crossed. So hopefully that made sense. We're going to hit another one of those in this row. So if that didn't make sense, keep watching, we'll get there. So then we purl two, and then this cable, it is time to twist this. So pick two on your cable needle, and it said put it in front of your work, so lay it in front, and then knit two, knit these two, just pretend like everything is normal. Ignore that third needle as best you can to the best of your ability. and then knit off of that third needle. 1 and 2. Ta-da! So now we have just twisted that cable. Yay! So this cable happens pretty infrequently, so we're just gonna knit across this whole cable and then purl 2, and then I will get back to you when we get to this. All right, we're back. I stole my husband's phone, so we have a better camera, and I took off the awful nail polish that was on my nails. So it's only been a second for you, but it's been a few minutes for me. We are back at the tiny mock cable. So mock cable is just when you don't use a cable needle. And the pattern has two types of mock cables, one where you go behind and one where you go in front. I have not been able to figure out or find any videos showing how you go in front and make the mock cable work, so I'm doing all these mock cables from behind, which I will show you again how I've been doing. And again, it looks like this. Basically, all the mock cables just look the same and are not twisting in different ways. That does not bother me, so if that is something you would like to figure out, I'm sorry, I cannot assist you. This is how I've been doing mine. So I go behind with my right needle. I pick up the second stitch, go into the first leg as normal to knit. Go around and knit, but I don't pull off. Instead, I knit into this first stitch like normal, and then I pull both off. Ta-da! So that's how I've been doing the mock cables. Again, this is not a row where we need to twist this one because it's all squares until we get back to the mock cable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that as normal. Back at one of these small mock cables. Always when I get to these, make sure to put my yarn behind as if to knit. Go between the 2 stitches. Pick up front leg of that second stitch. Pretend to knit, but don't pull it off. And then knit this first stitch and pull off both stitches and that little strand. And then you've created the mock cable. We are supposed to cable these 2 cables that are right next to each other back to back in the middle. So to create these cables, we grab our cable needle and pull off 2. And the first one, it says to place 2 stitches in front of your work. So you leave this in front. Oh, sorry. And you knit 2 as normal, just ignoring that bottom cable. And then you knit the 2 on the other cable. 1 and 2. And then just put that aside for 1 purl stitch. You do the 1 purl stitch that is between these 2. And then, since we went in front with the last one, it would make sense that we go behind with this one. So you grab your cable and needle, pick up 2 behind your work. So you just put it behind there and knit these 2 as if that third needle doesn't even exist. And then knit the 2 off your cable needle, or whatever you're using as a cable needle. Again, I'm using an extra needle from my interchangeable needles. And then we are back to our mock cables, which again, I am doing all of them coming from the back, picking up the front of the second one and knitting the first. Purl 2, and then we'll hit another one of those mock cables, which I will show you again. Go in between your 2 stitches, pick up the second one, knit, but don't pull off, pick up the first, knit, and pull off completely. So I just purled 2, knit across this huge cable, and purled 2, and now we're at this smaller cable. It says to pick up 2. We're gonna do that, and then it has us going behind our work. So put the cable needle behind as if nothing's going on, knit 2, 1 and 2, and then pick up those 2 on the cable needle and knit them as normally as you can. And 2. And then the rest of this row, you have purl 2, do the mock cable here, purl 2. You can see right here I've made a mistake where I've purled where I should have knit. Knit across until you get to the end, and you'll add 1 with a knit at the end of this row. We have 2 left, so we're going to knit through this one, and then we're at the point where in this pattern you add right before the last stitch every time. So you know that you're going to need to pick up the strand that runs, try not to split it, that runs between your 2 stitches and put it on your left needle. Now this addition is a knit. You can tell because the purls will have a dot under them and the knits will not on this pattern. So like I said before, you want to make sure that the shorter strand is what you're sticking your needle through. So we knit through the shorter strand, knit, and there we've done it. We've added 1, and we're all done with that row. Woohoo! So we are now on a wrong side row, row 37, and on the wrong side, you're never going to cable your cables. You're always just going to work the stitches as they present. So what do I mean by that? I mean, this first stitch, we have a bubble coming towards us, so we know it's a purl. So we're going to go ahead and purl that. The one thing that you need to watch on the wrong side is what kind of addition the pattern wants you to make. So you're going to pick up the cable that runs, the line that runs between. And for this one, she wants you to make a purl addition and make sure that when you come through, you're coming through the shorter side. That will make sure that the tension's right and it doesn't leave a gap in your work. So purl through that. Woohoo. And then we're just going to be going as stitches present. So you can see that all of these are purls. These 2 are knits, purls, knits, purls. Basically, you're just going to want to do that down the whole row. All right, so we're on row 38 now. We are now on the right side. We have purled both of the additional ones, so there should be a bump on the back. And now we are going to start row 38. So we knit the first one, and like always on this pattern, we have an addition right after the first. And so we put up our new strand, and this time there is no dot, so we're knitting. So again, making sure to go through the tight side, not the loose side. Insert your needle, knit. We are at this mock cable. So since last time we started mock cabling this, we are going to continue to cable. So remember, have your yarn behind, insert the needle between the 2, pick up the second one, knit but don't pull off, and then pick up the first, knit, and pull both off. Purl 2. Now on this row we are not going to twist this, so we just knit like normal and purl 2. Now we are at the big boy cable, as I have been calling it. So according to our pattern, we are going to pick up 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put them in front of our work. And then knit 4, and then you knit 4 off of the cable needle. So So as you can see, we have added a twist to that cable, and then we knit the last 4. So it looks like on this row, we are only twisting the big boys and the little guys. So I will continue to knit across this row, just knitting the knits, purling the purls, and cabling the mock cables, and I will meet you at the other side. And we're back to the big boy. So the pattern says to first, before cable anything, find my yarn, knit 4. This, at least for me, it was kind of confusing, because usually when you hit the pattern, you know, you cable and then you keep going, but you've just knit and now you're gonna cable. So I didn't know which way to read the pattern, but I have just been reading it normally left to right. Pick up, how many is it? 4. 1. And this time the pattern indicates that we should go behind our work. Pick up 4, 1. And knit. Ooh, they're so close to falling off. We still have 4. Knit these 4. And we did it. We've twisted the big boy. There he is. Looks awesome. We're going to get to the end, only working this mock cable, and add on the end. All right, so we did the wrong side, and now we are on the right side again. We are on row 40. Looking at the pattern, you can tell that this row does every cable except for our big thick 3 ones. So you're gonna do all of the mock cables, these, not this guy, these, and this mock cable. So cable every cable except for your biggest ones. So at this point we have worked that back side again, and we are right again on the front of our garment, what will be our garment. So we're on the right side row. We have 2 rows left. I believe this is row 42. And all we have to do on this row is the tiny mock cables. And then 1 more back row. And then we have completed the first chart in the pattern. 2 more rows and then the A chart will be done. It looks incredible. So I'm gonna get to those last 2 rows and I will show you what it looks like at the end. Okay friends, she's finished. At least the first part of the pattern is done. I was so accomplished knitting this, and it's really just a matter of following the pattern. So hopefully this video was helpful. And I think, as far as I can tell from the pattern, it leads straight in to the next chart, which will just be the back section, down, straight down from this. So this is the back of the neck, and it'll go down. So anyways, thank you for watching.